Hi, it's Kimberly here. It is Monday, November the 13th. It is quite a gorgeous morning, but we have an exciting show in this first hour. Bill Humbert will be giving us all of the recruiting tips and tricks, adventures in coaching, plus how to collaborate in the Valley with Chris Romer. So lots happening here. I'm your host, Kimberly Perot. We've got Ben Roof joining me in studio. Hour one of Good Morning Vail starts now.
So many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to the show. Let's take a quick look at the morning's weather here before we get started with your first hour of Good Morning Vail. Starting off this morning around 8 a.m., we're looking at about 33 degrees with things warming up to a high of 58 towards the afternoon there. Mostly sunny throughout the day with winds from the southwest coming at 5 to 10 miles an hour. As we take a look at that hourly forecast there again, starting off this morning around 33 degrees and mostly sunny with that high of 51 around noon, 51 around 4 p.m. as well, and then things starting to cool off in the in the evening there around 8 p.m. looking at about 38, 39 degrees. Then as we take a look at the I-70 corridor down in Denver, we're looking there at about a high of 65 degrees and sunny, a high of 58 in Vail, high of 60 in Avon, and a high of 59 in Eagle with a little bit of cloud coverage up here in the high country. As we take a look there at the overnight forecast, we're seeing it about 25 degrees is our low, partly cloudy overnight with that sunset at about 4:53 p.m. with winds from the southeast still 5 to 10 miles an hour. As we take a look there at the rest of the week, Tuesday it's going to be nice and sunny and a little bit warmer there with a high of 56 degrees. Mostly sunny on Wednesday with a high of 59. And then we've got a great 30% chance of a wintry mix here coming in with a high of 53 there on Thursday. And then Friday we're looking at a high of 52. Mostly cloudy, and then a little bit of snow coming in on Saturday with a 40% chance and a high of 52.
Bring on the wintry mix.
Right? Hopefully
I'm so
we
ready
actually
for
get
it.
some snow and it doesn't turn into rain.
We don't want rain at this start in the season, but you know, it was a gorgeous weekend for getting out there on the slopes. I know.
Did you get out there at all?
I did not get to get out on the slopes yet, but you know, I will. I figured I'll let the people that don't live in town get their experience on it first.
I didn't make it up myself over the weekend either. Since Robbie and I were over at Keystone for opening day, I got my fix of the real early season skiing, and now hopefully we get a couple more snowstorms in, some more things start to open up, and we get a little bit more people kind of spread out around the mountain.
It's just kind of like slow and steady. You just get a couple runs in, ease into it, and we've got a long season ahead of us, hopefully. So.
But with the mountains open, the restaurants are open too now, and so we can get back to getting some good food, get out, enjoy some time with our friends still, because there's a lot more going on, especially with Reveille Vail starting to really ramp up this week.
Absolutely. I've been counting down for my favorite restaurants to open, so I'm very excited. But we definitely have an exciting first hour here on Good Morning Vail. Lots of things happening, so you're not going to want to miss it. Go fill up that cup of coffee, and we'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Lion's Head Jewelers Fossil and Mineral Gallery. Located in the heart of Lion's Head Village for over a decade, our 4,000 square foot gallery boasts a one-of-a-kind experience that cannot be found anywhere else in Vail. We carry the most exquisite array of fine jewelry, high-end minerals, and museum-quality fossils. We invite you to come in and explore all the history and beauty that nature has to offer.
Hi, it's Julio from TV8 Vail. Do you ever wonder why our tagline is "There's more for you on 92"? Because we're always bringing you more. More Good Morning Vail from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. all year long. More local coverage with Vail Vibes and Covered Bridge on TV8. More opportunities to participate with new roundtable panels on Mountain Perspectives and our new Spanish programming block coming this fall. Find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92, on YouTube, or our website at tv8vail.com.
Thank you for watching Good Morning Vail. Have an amazing day. Get on out there, soak up that sunshine. We'll see you tomorrow right here for more Good Morning Vail. Bye, everyone. Hi, I'm Gretchen Bleshaw. You might recognize me from the Glitz and Glam with Gretchen. Maybe you hear my voice on the radio from time to time or see me out at a concert or two. I love concerts. If you see me out, the long mermaid hair, I'm almost 6 foot tall. It's hard to miss. Come and say hi, give me a high five, and make sure to watch me right here on TV8.
Good morning, Vail.
And it's a wonderful Monday morning. You're probably going, what am I doing with my life and how can I enhance my career search if you're on the job hunt? We have a conversation with Bill Humbert about his book and many other tips and tricks while you're looking for a new employment opportunity.
Welcome back to the show. As we're moving into the winter season, a lot of companies are either looking to staff up or are trying to find a couple of replacements for people who may have gone to find some other opportunities as the holiday season's arrived. And we've got Bill Humbert, the recruiter guy, joining us now to tell us a little bit about how we can best set our companies up for finding the right people this holiday season. Welcome to the show, Bill.
Hey, Ben, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me back.
Well, it's so great to have you, and you always have such wonderful advice for people in the career search or people who are looking to fill some different jobs. So tell me a little bit about what makes this time of year so special for either job seekers or people trying to fill positions.
Ben, this is a well-kept secret. We're not going to tell anybody unless they're one of your viewers. Okay? Is that agreed?
Agreed.
Okay. November and December are the best months to attract top talent. And during this period of time, the Human Resource Department's focus is on open enrollment, holiday preparations, other things that are important, and they're too distracted to focus on recruiting.
So what makes this a great time then to look for a new position or to try and find that new position or that new person to fill an open role? What makes this time of year special, especially if HR has got their eye on a little bit of a different ball?
It's on a totally different ball. And so there's 4 major reasons. Number one, think about this. Your competition is napping. HR is out doing other things. Your competition is napping. You're the manager. Go get the one you want. Secondly, your budget's done. You know who you can start in early January. So go after them. And then the other thing is when you're contacting candidates, this time of year, everybody's feeling warm and fuzzy, and it's much easier to reach them. And then finally, my recruiting experience since 1981. So 1981 to 1992, I strictly did headhunting, fee-based recruiting. My best months were always December and January, depending on when the person started. And I even had a candidate interview Christmas Eve and then give me a Christmas present Christmas night. Christmas Eve, she interviewed, received an offer. Christmas night, she called me at home and she said, I've got a Christmas present for you. Tell Sam tomorrow that I accepted.
Oh, that's fantastic. I would imagine that when you do get that ball rolling during the holiday season, it makes it a lot easier for the candidates to be able to start from the beginning of the year. Once the holiday season's kind of wrapped up, they're ready to go, right?
They should be. You know, they know what it is that they are, the kind of person they're going after. And so, you know, why not start them on January 4th or 2nd or whatever the first day of that week is and get them going. So I'd rather lead than follow. And while the other organizations are napping, now's the time to go after the best candidates.
And why not wait till January where everybody else does and kind of let the holiday season kind of go by, and so people aren't distracted by Christmas celebrations or New Year's? Why would you recommend getting that start early instead of waiting until January?
So think about this idea. And this is what I suggest to my clients, and once they see that it works, they really like it. Source, interview, and select the best qualified candidate now. Extend the offer in December with an early January start date. And what happens? Boom! Your new employee is working while everyone is just beginning the career search, the candidate search. Go after them now.
Well, and I imagine that it's great for morale, too, to start that new position right off the wind in your sails of a great holiday vacation, a great Christmas time, and really start the winter off right.
That's exactly right. Psychologically, as soon as you extend that offer and that person accepts, that weight of worrying about who am I going to find in January or February or March or April, you've got the person and they're already working. So that takes that load off your mind before the holidays are even over.
Well, and I imagine that from the business side of things too, it works really well in the workflow to be looking for new talent and then begin that onboarding process while the breaks are happening. And so you might not have a full office, and it might be a little bit easier to kind of schedule some things like an interview during that time where people are already taking off to be either with friends or family. And at least it seems to me like it would also be really easy for the business to transition either new employees in or old employees out, depending on what the needs are, right around that time, since a lot of people are already taking time off to be with family and go on vacation.
Exactly. So when a person, mid-December gives 2 weeks notice, that's great. And they can start 1st of January at their new company. From the new company's perspective, now that person is involved in the meetings that begin the year, where the managers talk about, this is what we're going to be doing this year. And we're really excited to have you on board, and let's get going. And you know what? It works great.
Well, and I bet that also really avoids the need to having to catch that new employee up in March or April with a, this is where we are for the year and this is what we need to prepare for. To have that out of the way right off the bat, I imagine makes things way more efficient, especially for that employee getting settled in that new role and that new position to not be feeling like they're playing catch up all year.
That's perfect. Yeah. Let's get started now. Go back to that, boom, get them started right on the first of the year. They're involved in the meetings right from the first of the year. They're learning. It takes about 5-6 months for a professional to really get into their job flow. And why not get them going sooner? I had a contract with HID Global, a cybersecurity firm, and they actually started 2 candidates who wanted to start the week between Christmas and New Year's. And they felt, hey, we'll do the HR onboarding now, get them started, and in January, whatever it was, 4th, bring them on board, and they've got that part out of the way, and let's get them working.
So let's change topics just a little bit from the reasons why now is such a great time to recruit to a little bit of tactics on how one can best look for some of those new candidates who might be doing their job search over the holidays.
There's this device, and you can get scores of ball games, you can get the weather. It's called a phone. And I can't tell you how many times I found candidates for my clients by networking. So networking is great because this way you're having a conversation with somebody who may know the person. And now you're transitioning that and saying, wow, could you introduce me to that person? Now you got a warm introduction. I do this all the time. With that warm introduction, there's always a trust relationship already begun. And now when the person talks to you, they trust you more because you're not calling out of the blue. And they're the easiest people to find. And a lot of times they're the best candidates for any position.
Well, and having that friendly bridge of a real person, a real face, and an existing relationship, I imagine helps build a lot more trust with the potential candidate as opposed to just getting a phone call from a faceless corporation.
Exactly. And, the thing is, if you get a call from a corporation, how many people are going to take that call? How many spam calls do you get in a day? I mean, fortunately, I'm getting rid of some of those, but, it's just a thing where that personal connection just benefits everybody in the process.
So tell us a little bit more, Bill, about Expecting Success and the Over 50 Career Search, your book.
Well, I love talking about my book. It received a 5-star review, and I'm really excited about that. And my professors up there in heaven, they went, Humbert got a 5-star review on a book? Holy cow! Congratulations, Bill. So that's the one thing that's really cool from that 5-star review is the person who reviewed me, Joe Wasinski at Reader's Favorite. He said, this is just a niche he's hitting. This is good for everybody. I wish I had this book 8 years ago. So it's a great book. It covers every step of the career search, and most importantly, salary negotiation. I'm an expert. I'm the guy who usually negotiates with the candidates. So I know what you can say, and I know what you better not be saying.
Well, Bill, it's always so great to have you on, and you've got so much great advice for both people just starting out their careers and people who are well on their way, how to really kind of level up, or for businesses who are really looking to level up their improvement. And if you guys need any more information about any of Bill's resources, make sure to check out recruiterguy.com. Bill, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Ben. Have a wonderful holiday.
You too, and we will be right back after a short message.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
My name is Tyler Alvarez. I work here at Sweet Basil in Vail. I'm a bartender here. I originally came to Vail to snowboard. I slept on my sister and my cousin's couch for what was supposed to be a week, turned into 2 months, and then I found my own spot, and then kind of made friends and worked different places in the valley and kind of just fell in love with it more and more every single day, and ended up finding my way to Sweet Basil through some friends who had worked here and all the great things that I heard about it. And yeah, I've been here for 4 years now. It's hard to wake up in Vail and be upset when you look outside. It's just beautiful. My favorite part about working at Sweet Basil is definitely that I could be proud about everything that we're putting out, whether it's food, drinks. We also get to be really creative here. The bartenders, the whole team here, we workshop our menus every season, so we'll start with a spirit or an ingredient, and then we get to be really creative and make a whole project of it. And then when we get the final product, it's a drink that we're all really proud of for the whole menu, and that's super fun, just being able to be creative and work with new things. And the most fun cocktails to make, though, are definitely the ones that we get to create from scratch. When people take a sip and say, oh my God, this is delicious, or they just love it. And that's probably the most fun for me, the creativity behind it and making unique cocktails. That, for me, that would be the most fun drink to make, just the one that you start from scratch and then people are excited about. I'm Tyler, I live and work in Vail. Come see me at Sweet Basil.
Do you love the outdoor lifestyle? Make sure you tune in every day at 8 p.m. to catch Scoreboard Nation. It's an outdoor lifestyle show dedicated to your 3 favorite mountain towns, Vail Beaver Creek, Park City, and Reno Tahoe. Join us for an incredible venture. Find us on TV8 Vail, Park City Television, or at thescoreboardnation.com. We can't wait to see you there.
Good morning,
Nick?
Vail.
What am I tossing to? Thank you. Welcome back to the show. Kim Smith is a wonderful coach helping people with their business and their professional lives here in the Vail Valley. And up next, she's talking about ways to help reframe problems and approach them in a different light. Let's see what she has to say. I am joined now on the couch by Kim Smith of Adventures in Coaching to share with us some more advice on how to improve our careers. So welcome to the show, Kim.
Thanks so much, Ben. It's great to be back.
Well, it's great to have you again with some more fantastic advice for us. So last time you were on, we were talking a little bit about teams and how to kind of get teams oriented a little bit and help them succeed. But we're shifting gears a little bit once more to talk about problems. So we encounter problems in our careers all the time, but they don't necessarily need to be a bad thing, do they?
Not necessarily, although I think a lot of people think they are, right? Oh gosh, the problems are so difficult or insurmountable. How do I get over them?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly can be a thing, but a lot of problems can present us with opportunities too, right?
Yes.
They force us to make change, and there's always a way to come out with some positive change.
Exactly. If you have that mindset, which is what we're going to be talking about today, is really how do we shift that, oh, this is such a big problem and I don't know what to do, and therefore we get stuck often when we're in that problem versus looking at something as an opportunity and reframing it as that. I just love this topic because so many of us, whether we're in business or whether it's our personal lives, we can take a look at, anything from this new framework.
Well, and even if it's not necessarily a problem, it can still be an overwhelming task. So in the event that you are facing with a monumental issue, a big problem, how do you recommend starting to tackle something like that?
Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it? So, and I like to say, rather than issues or problems, I like to say challenges, actually. If you can start reframing it by looking at it as a challenge, it no longer has such a negative connotation. And then when you start asking yourself, well, hey, is there another way to look at this? What is the opportunity? And oftentimes we really can't. We're so used to being in that problem and maybe even, down about it, or maybe even in that place where sort of like have this victim thinking where, oh, poor me, I can't do anything about this. Sometimes it's hard to start looking at things as opportunities, and that is where a coach can come in, or you can get feedback from others. Like, what's another angle here?
So if we're trying to change that mindset from, oh my God, this problem is so big, how am I going to get started to tackle it, to, all right, this challenge that's facing me is going to give me an opportunity to really improve my situation or improve my position at work, how would you recommend getting to that point where we're seeing something differently?
Yeah, well, it really is a multi-step process, and you just outlined a bunch of them right there, so you're totally getting this. It's awesome. So, looking at the problem or the challenge, and then thinking about it as an opportunity, and then maybe thinking, like, what are the solutions? Like, what is it that I need to do to create this opportunity, to create the solution? And then thinking about what might be different once you're in that solution. So that's a way to kind of look at it pretty far forward into, the future. I mean, it may be only one conversation away, but thinking about the difference can really help to motivate you to kind of continue looking at pushing through the problem and maybe getting out of your comfort zone a bit to ask for what you need, or maybe it's setting a boundary or coming up with some new ideas and presenting it to a leadership team.
So you're recommending a little bit of like trying to see our challenge through to the end and use that success as inspiration to help us work through.
Yes, absolutely. And I highly recommend writing these things down so that you can go back and check in and have an accountability partner. Maybe it's a friend or coworker, a manager, a coach. It just depends. But having somebody that can help you kind of think through the obstacles that might be in the way, the roadblocks that are getting in your way from being successful and creating an opportunity from a challenge.
So as a professional coach, if I was facing a huge project and I wasn't quite sure where to start, and it was really like just the scope of the whole thing, I wasn't figuring out where to begin, and if I was, excited about the end of the project, but that's just the hurdle of the project itself, how would you as a coach kind of help me through that first step of getting the inertia needed to begin surmounting that challenge?
That's great insight that you have there, because it is about, figuring out how to take those first baby steps. And me as a coach, I don't always know what your first baby steps are, but I'm going to work with you to try and pull those out of you and then help you to take those and give you the courage, encourage you and empower you to take those steps so that you can walk through that fear. And if that fear is insurmountable, like you were talking about, like you just, you want to get to the end of the project, but you don't know how, then we talk about that fear and what that limiting belief might be that's holding you back from taking those first steps. And often if we just start taking one little step, another one will become clear as we get there. But, also having a roadmap is very important. Doesn't mean that you have to stay on that exact path the whole way, but sort of having an idea of like, okay, I do this first. Maybe I need to get a little more experience over here or some education over there, but then I can take that next step.
Well, and those roadmaps, they don't have to be every single step A to Z, right? It can be an F, and maybe G and E and a couple together, but like sometimes we just need to get started to kind of figure out what some of those steps are.
Yeah.
So how would you recommend kind of facing those limiting beliefs and some of that fear if you've got a decent plan, but you don't have every single step of the process worked out?
Right.
And that can definitely leave some people feeling nervous.
Yeah, a lot of us like to have the answers before we start something which I call like the problem with perfectionism. And sometimes we hold on to like, I'm not going to do anything until the plan is perfect, till I have it all figured out. You know, I'm not willing to go A to F, right? I want to go A, B, C, D. So it's that, yeah, it's the problem with perfectionism. And can you let yourself, you know, off the hook a little bit and say like, it's going to be good enough. Even if I just take these few steps, maybe I'll run into some more roadblocks and maybe it won't be right. Maybe I'll make a mistake, but that's okay. Because half the fun of the journey is kind of going off trail, right? And maybe like, oh gosh, I'm a little bit lost. And then you find your way back again and think how good you feel once you've maybe done a little diversion and found something you weren't expecting.
Well, and it's hard to learn without those little diversions, those extra challenges too. I mean,
Right.
something that I've always faced in my life is I am cripplingly perfectionist. Like I am
That's why you
definitely
smiled when
one
I
of
said
those
that.
people. Exactly. I'm 100% one of those people who I have to drill it into myself to not let perfect be the enemy of the good.
Yeah.
And there's so many times it's like, man, I'm not quite sure this will be perfect. I gotta start anyway. I just gotta do it anyway. And it sounds to me like reaching out to you is a great way to kind of help bridge that gap and help get a little bit of outside motivation and outside help if we're really having a hard time getting over that little bit of a hump, that little bit of a limiting belief.
Right, and that little bit of limiting belief might end up being a bigger limiting belief that's affecting you in a lot of different places, and a coach can help you to uncover what that is and to come up with plans so that when you hear that limiting belief talking to you, you know, you can be like, oh, there it is, rather than sit in procrastination or sit in, you know, feeling down about something. Like, oh, there it is. Now here's what I need to do.
To help identify that voice in your own head and tell it to be quiet when it needs to be.
Right. Thank you very much. But we're moving forward.
Right. So if anybody needs some help finding out their limiting beliefs or helping to get over them a little bit, how can they reach out to you?
So I can be reached at kim@adventuresandcoaching.com, or just go to my website, adventuresandcoaching.com, and I have a little form that you can fill out and send me more information about what you're looking for and what your challenges and what you think your opportunities might be. So love to hear from you.
Well, fantastic. Kim Smith of Adventures in Coaching, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Ben.
And we'll be right back after a short break with a little bit more show for you right after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Familia, estamos muy emocionados de por fin presentarles nuestro nuevo programa completamente en español, Conexión Latina, que se estrena este lunes 21 de agosto a partir de las 7 de la tarde. Por el momento, el programa se transmitirá los lunes, miércoles y viernes de 7 a 7 y media de la tarde, con una repetición de 7 y media a 8, así que no hay excusas para perdértelo. Te recuerdo que puedes sintonizar nuestra programación a través del canal 92 de Comcast, nuestra página web tvavail.com y nuestra página de Facebook TVA Conexión Latina. Acompáñanos en esta nueva aventura llena de información y entretenimiento local. No te lo pierdas.
Well, Archer and I are going to get headed on further down the trail, but I hope you'll catch up with us a little bit later. Hi, I'm Ben Roof, and I'm one of the new hosts here at TV8. I'm so excited to share all of my explorations throughout the Vail Valley with my dog Archer, where we'll be taking you to hiking trails, biking trails, maybe we'll go rafting, fishing, or whatever else we can come up with. I'm so excited to share all of that with you in my new segment, Outdoor Adventures. Don't forget to catch up with us every day right here at TV8 Vail or at tv8vail.com, because there's always more for you on 92.
Do you have an interesting hobby or skill you'd like to share for Vail Valley? We want to hear from you. We're looking for people to share their musical, artistic, culinary, woodworking, athletic, or technical talents on Good Morning Vail. If you'd like to share your talents with the community, email Danielle at tvavail.com. Join the community conversation. There's more for you on 92.
Experience the magic of the season like never before with the Leadville Railroad on our Holiday Express. Gather the family for an enchanting journey filled with dazzling displays of twinkling lights and festive decorations. Create cherished memories that will last a lifetime on this unforgettable train adventure that captures the spirit of the holidays. Booking information at leadvillerailroad.com.
Good morning, Vail.
Let's take another quick look at the TV8 Weather Center here on Good Morning Vail. Starting off this morning around 8 a.m., we're looking at about 33 degrees with a high of 58 in the mid-afternoon there. Mostly sunny throughout the day with winds from the southwest, about 5 to 10 miles an hour. As we take a look there at the hourly forecast, if it works, maybe. Well, the hourly forecast. The hourly forecast there around 8 a.m., 33 degrees with a high of 51 a little bit afternoon, and then still 51 around 4 p.m. there with those clouds burning off. And then at around the evening, we're seeing things start to cool off there at about 39 degrees. Taking a look at the I-70 corridor there down in Denver, we're seeing that high of 68 degrees, 65 degrees. In Vail, high of 58 degrees. Avon, 60 degrees. Eagle, a high of 59. And then partly cloudy in the high country today. As we take a look at that overnight forecast, we've got that low of 25 degrees, partly cloudy, with sunset at 4:53 p.m. Winds from the southeast, 5 to 10 miles an hour. And then as we take a look at the rest of the week here, Tuesday, we're looking at sunny skies with a high of 56 degrees. Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high of 59. And then a chance of showers coming in there on Thursday with a 30% chance and a high of 53. And then on Friday, we've got partly cloudy skies, a high of 52. And then Saturday, a 40% chance of a wintry mix and a high of 52 degrees. All right, if you guys are looking for some handmade jewelry, some incredible hat accessories, and awesome local themed gifts, Avija is over at Sunward to check things out. Come on!
Hi friends, welcome to Vail Vibes. Avija Scarborough here. And as many of you know, here in Colorado, the accessory of choice are hats. But sometimes your hats need their own accessories. Like mine, it's looking a little naked. So I came to see Carrie Calvin, affectionately known around town as the Hat Lady. She may be called the Hat Lady, but Carrie Calvin is much more than that.
I describe my business as a creative business with blending design, technology, creative visions, and clients' inspirations. Originally, I've started as a jewelry business and evolved to then learning technology and combining my skills with design background and materials. But I also have a whole other arm of laser engraving that I do for local businesses to brand items for their business.
Carrie spent a decade doing graphic design for a global architecture firm before deciding to follow her creative calling.
My corporate career, after 10 years, not really having a plan, just knowing that I needed to be and wanted to be a little bit more creative.
While exploring all of her creative passions, loved ones often gave her the advice to pick a focus.
People try and rein you in a little bit and keep you on one avenue, which again, I'll take all the advice and listen to any kind of constructive criticism or feedback, but I'm always probably going to go with my gut because I'm the one experiencing it. and I know what in my heart and in my mind I can achieve and accomplish.
In the end, it was all of Carrie's skills that combined to create the thriving business she has now. Here she is designing a pattern to be laser cut into a hat, and the results are stellar. Carrie does have a way with hats. For mine, she added silk ribbon, beads, feathers, and a custom hand engraving. And now that she recently opened up this new studio in Gypsum, she says she'll be hosting workshops, hat and jewelry parties, and taking appointments for shoppers. So I walked in here with a naked cowboy hat, and now my hat is fully accessorized. Thanks to Carrie from Sunward. Thank you so much for watching Vail Vibes, and I'll see you next time.
Good morning, Vail.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
It's the fastest half hour in television. Toyota's Race Week takes you inside the high-speed world of NASCAR. Go behind the scenes for a look into the high adrenaline world of motorsports and hear from your favorite drivers as they discuss the drive to a championship. If you love NASCAR, you won't want to miss Toyota's Race Week.
Experience the magic of the season like never before with the Leadville Railroad on our Holiday Express. Gather the family for an enchanting journey filled with dazzling displays of twinkling lights and festive decorations. Create cherished memories that will last a lifetime on this unforgettable train adventure that captures the spirit of the holidays. Booking information at leadvillerailroad.com.
When you're in Vail, you're in vacation mode, and you need a flexible home tour experience that fits into your schedule. We transformed how you view and buy homes in the Vail Valley. With immersive, cutting-edge technology, you can explore properties 10 times faster. In our lounge, we guide you through this digital world on a 16-foot screen where you can imagine your next home in comparison to your favorite recreational spots. Say goodbye to multi-day home tours and hello to a quick stop between your other plans. That's the power of the immersion theater.
At Revival Boutique Med Spa, we take an integrative and holistic approach to skincare, focusing on the bigger picture when treating our clients. We use only result-driven and science-based products that contain clean, organic, wildcrafted, and research-based ingredients. From injectables, facials, to body contouring, we offer anything related to looking your best self. Find us in the Riverwalk in Edwards. For a complete list of services, visit us online at revivalvail.com. Follow us on Instagram at Revival Vail Valley. Fall in love with your skin again. There's lots to love at Revival. Mind, body, beauty.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. The Vail Valley Partnership is an incredible local organization helping businesses throughout the community find partners and the resources and access to various help that they might need. And Chris Romer, one of their leaders, sat down and talked a lot about how collaboration in the Vail Valley can both help with success and is often essential to finding that success. Let's take a look.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. We always talk about all the amazing things that happen here in the Valley, but what does it actually take to make things happen, to bring the community together, to bring the businesses together, to bring big world-class groups to the amazing Vail Valley? Well, the gentleman that can let us know all this great information is Chris Romer with the Vail Valley Partnership. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Well, it's great to have you. It's a long time. I saw you yesterday.
I did see you yesterday. It was fun. We had a Vail local marketing district lodging meeting, brought together a lot of the lodging properties and hotels in Vail to share a little bit of a preview of the winter and solicit feedback from the hotels on how we collectively, when I say we, I don't mean Vail Valley Partnership, and I don't mean the town of Vail, and I don't mean the marketing district or the lodging community. I mean we collectively. How do we provide the very best experience for our guests? How do we communicate with the rest of the business community? How do we ensure that our guests are receiving a great experience when they're here in town in October? All of we is a very big collective term.
Right, right. And you know, you look at all the variables involved and the obstacles that are in the way. We talk a lot about the housing and the employment market and all that, but getting even beyond that and getting behind the scenes on the teams that are deployed in South America and traveling around the globe to network with businesses and individuals from a transient standpoint to bring them to the Valley, a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah, and why would they?
Right.
Right? Why would they? Because if you're not in the business, you really don't know. And that's the same for technology or construction, and certainly for tourism and hospitality. But a lot of our hotels, certainly the ski company at Vail Resorts, Vail Valley Partnership plays a role there. And we are all working together and collaborating on how we communicate, on how we reach the group market, on how we reach the leisure market, on how we coordinate different website presences and different promotions to have attractive lodging opportunities and packaging, all to come. And none of that happens by mistake, right? It's a community effort. It's an intentional effort, and it requires a lot of gear movement behind the scene to make sure that we're working together and collaboratively and identifying those shared goals of how we increase our occupancy and how we share the brand message that is Vail, that is Beaver Creek, that is this community, that is the airport, and all the different moving parts that come together with positioning this place to our visitors and our second homeowners. It's a heavy lift behind the scenes, and you know, to the credit of this community, we've been doing it a long time, and there's good teamwork and there's good cohesion there.
Right. Now, it definitely takes a valley to do all this. And yesterday was a focus on the lodging partners here in the Valley and things that we can do to cohesively bring more groups in and network with the people that we work with, whether it's the organizations like Stedman, for example. They've got a number of different companies they work with on medical technology, medical devices, that the Vail Valley would be a perfect place for them to bring a convention into. So it's networking in those little areas so that the mom and pops benefit from having that number of demographic increase and have them come in. Now, we're planning for the season. We're planning for next season already. But how do we do that? We look at a lot of analytics that your team brought in so that we could see trends and patterns and pace and all the things that as a business and an organization and a Valley whole, we can start planning for what's coming down the pipe.
Yeah, and all of that is true, and there's so many opportunities for that. And the idea of, you know, one of my personal pet peeves is the idea of being data driven. I think we need to be really cautious there. I think we want to be data informed, right? We want data, visitation data and past guest data and booking data and seeing where we're falling behind and where we might be ahead, so we can yield and manage appropriately. But we need to layer in some of that common sense. Yeah. And the data doesn't always help. The data doesn't always just tell us what to do, right? The data informs us, and we layer that on our local knowledge, and we layer that on the collaboration we have with different entities, again, be it the town or the airport or the ski company or the lodging properties, in order to inform. And then that next important step is to then communicate. Right. Communicate out to the retailers and communicate out to the restaurants so they know what our occupancy looks like. So they know when they can prepare, and it's that's a ongoing challenge.
Right, right. Well, if we look at some of the conversation yesterday, we talked about our fall period, which we're in right now. This is a time a lot of businesses close down so they can take vacations and take their time off. But there's some of the larger hotel properties that have conventions and people coming in, and we want to showcase the Lions Head Village, the Vail Village, all the amenities here in the community. And sometimes it's a disappointment to those guests coming in because there's a lot that's closed. Yeah, and it becomes a communication issue at its core, like a marriage, like a family, like a business. These things become a communication challenge of how we're communicating, and just telling isn't enough. We need to make sure that we're listening to, and that goes both ways. On what those things are. So we're going to be, after yesterday's meeting and feedback, I think we're going to be working to try and develop some new ways to do that and to really solicit more detailed information from the lodging community in order to share better information out to the restaurants and retailers, with the understanding, Kevin, that there's going to be times when restaurants close. They have capital projects. They need to do their deep cleans. They need to get their folks on vacation, and the same thing for the retail community. So it's not a situation of our hair's on fire and everyone, no pun intended. Yeah, thank you.
That everyone needs to stay open all the time or else we're not fulfilling that needs. That's not the case. It's to let them know so they can better time those things.
Right.
And we can then meet the guest experiences and ensure that we have loyal guests who come back year after year.
Right, and communication is the key, like you said. And if they are going to be closed, we could do the communication over to the guest coming in, saying, hey, here's the areas that you want to focus on and go.
Yeah, here's a list of businesses that are open. Here's a list of retailers and restaurants, and here's who's doing specials. And conversely, communicating out to that community. There's a group of 500 people in town, and last week there was a group of 500 people in town for Mountain Towns 2030. And they have a group function on Tuesday night. Right. They're probably not going to be out and about, but they're free on Monday and Wednesday night.
Yep.
Taking it to that next level of detail.
Yeah. Now, talking about the details, we obviously, during peak season here in the Valley, our room rates are optimal. And it's not cheap to get a meal here in the Valley. Now, it's world class, and it's what people expect when they get here, but it's the expectation sometimes that we need to be mindful of as a community from a service aspect. And one thing I don't think a lot of people know that are viewing is everything that the Vail Valley Partnership does to help train so that when those guests arrive, we not only meet that expectation, but we exceed it.
Yeah, it's an ongoing opportunity for us as a community to provide that high level of service and to provide the tools and tips. Now, many of the large companies have their own internal training programs, and that's great. Right, and that's important, and they should. If it's one of the large hotel properties or the ski company, some of the transportation companies, they're going to have their own internal training, and wonderful. It's important. We love it. But there are 90% of our businesses in Eagle County have fewer than 10 employees, and 80% have fewer than 20 employees. Those are organizations that typically don't have the size and scale to have their own proprietary guest service training and customer service programs. So we offer a number of different programs for there, from Taking the Lead, which is a training program for first-time supervisors, to Management Essentials, which helps people with difficult conversations. How do you deal with a guest who's upset? What are the basic guest service steps? And we have a whole series of those types of courses. We have online courses for businesses to provide their people on their own time. We offer a number of them, four or five different in-person nuts and bolts, elbow grease. Here's how you do it. Everything from serving on a board to providing guest service for a first-time supervisor, from nuts to bolts. So there's quite a bit. All wrapped up in our Vail Valley Works programming.
Yeah, well, that's a lot for people to chew on that just maybe didn't know exactly. Thanks for taking that walk behind the scenes with me to bring that out. But what do you got coming up? Because there's always wonderful programs and events that are coming out of the Vail Valley Partnership. What do you have coming up?
Yeah, two brief things that I would mention. Number one, next week on November 1st, on Wednesday morning, we have our State of the Valley program with the Vail Symposium. That's something that we've done for years and years. This year, our guest will be Jeff Schroll, the county manager, Phil Qualman from Eagle County Schools, Will Cook from Vail Health, and Bobby Murphy, the new Chief Operating Officer at Beaver Creek Resort. So we'll be at Colorado Mountain College, I believe, from 8:30 to 10 o'clock, discussing the state of the Valley and having a sneak peek at what they all predict for 2024 and some of the trends that they're watching. And we expect it to be a great, lively discussion and plenty of time for Q&A with the audience as well. The other thing I would mention briefly is our Board Service Basics course. That's coming up November 15th and 16th. One-day intensive course. We do it twice. For anyone interested in serving on a town board or a planning committee, a nonprofit board, a HOA board, any of the different opportunities to really learn how to work with others and learn governance and fiduciary responsibility and all the things that civic engagement of serving on a nonprofit or a community board might be. So we have a full training class. We've done it for a number of years. It gets rave reviews. One of the most popular things we do, so I encourage people to check that out too. Yeah, with the number of HOAs, just in itself, a lot of board opportunities. And it's great to serve on a board. Again, that's giving back to the community a little bit, not really something you get paid for, but help develop and keep the world-class atmosphere here in the Vail Valley. Yep, absolutely. All right, well, Chris, thank you for coming in today, taking part of your morning out and inspiring us and letting us know everything going on with you and your amazing team at the Vail Valley Partnership. Thanks so much, I appreciate it. Thank you. We'll be right back with more Good Morning Vail.
Good morning, Vail.
Hi, I'm Ben Belgrad, and I'm the owner of Drinking Vessels here at Bat Country Studios in Minturn. And I've been in the Valley for 7 years. I moved to the Valley because a friend helped me to get my vision off the ground, building my glass studio here, and being so close to snowboarding. So here at the studio, we're acting as a broker for 50 to 100 artists from around the country. We also offer glassblowing classes, and we bring many artists from around the country here to be able to work and create art collaboratively and be so close to skiing and all the activities we have here in the Valley. Here at Drinking Vessels, we specialize in handmade glass drinkware from artists around the country and around the world. Some of these are produced as more of an item you could get in sets and kind of get different color options as time goes on. And some of these are completely one of a kind and really high-end art that's unlike anything people have seen before. While I'm an artist myself here at the studio, I'm representing between 50 and 100 other artists from around the country. And most of these artists are able to spend most of their time working on their art while we help handle their marketing and their sales and the distribution and representation, allowing them more time to focus on their art. That's really my privilege in running this business, is creating that support and providing that platform for this big group of artists that are part of a movement that's very important to me.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
Hi, I'm Gretchen Pleshaw, host of TV8 Vail. From fashion to food, from film to festivals, experience a unique look at the boutiques, spas, restaurants, and venues that make the Valley so special. Join me for Glitz and Glam. Find it in Good Morning Vail or at our website at tv8vail.com. I can't wait for our next adventure.
You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
Happy Monday, it's November 13th. I'm your host, Kimberly Perot. We are at the top of the second hour on this Monday morning edition. Ben Roof joining me in studio today, but we've got an exciting second half. I'll be talking with Edward Jones about some financial advice. We'll be discussing a brand new wellness app, as well as the founder and chef of Slappy's Creole Cuisine. Very exciting stuff on the second hour, so hour 2 of Good Morning Vail starts right now.
Things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to the second hour of Good Morning Vail. I hope you guys are off to a good start on this Monday morning. Let's see what the weather is doing today to start the week off. 8 a.m. this morning, looking at about 33 degrees, mostly cloudy with a high coming in about 58 in the afternoon there. We've got winds from the southwest 5 to 10 miles an hour. As we take a look there at the hourly forecast, moving in around noon, things are warming up at about 50 degrees there. Still mostly sunny with a little bit of cloud cover left. Around 4 p.m., we're seeing that 51 degrees with the clouds having mostly burned off and sunny, with then around 8 p.m. there, 39 degrees as the sun starts to come down. Taking a look at the I-70 corridor there in Denver, we're seeing that high of 65 degrees, sunny, and then in Vail, a high of 58 with a little bit of cloud cover, and then Avon, that high of 60, and in Eagle, a high of 59, still with just a little bit of clouds here in the high country. Taking a look at the overnight forecast, we've got partly cloudy with sunset coming in at 4:53 p.m. and that low of 25 degrees. Winds from the southwest 5 to 10 miles an hour. As we take a look at the rest of the week here, Tuesday, we've got sunny skies, the high of 56 degrees. Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high of 59. And then Thursday, we've got that 30% chance of showers and a high of 53. And then on Friday, we've got partly cloudy skies, the high of 54. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, we've got that 40% chance of a wintry mix coming in on Saturday with a high of 52 degrees. So if you guys are looking to get out this weekend and do a little bit of skiing, hopefully we'll have some powder on Saturday.
It's really a perfect mix. We've got springtime temps and the wintertime temperatures coming in this weekend, and it's just going to be good. Hopefully it's getting cooler, it's getting nice, so we can really enjoy some good snowfall.
Definitely that time of year to keep a sweater in your car just in case, because you never know what the weather might do. That high in the mid-50s could only be for an hour or 20 minutes.
Well, I'm just excited because, it's everything is starting to come together. You're really starting to see people coming into town to visit and have fun and get out on the slopes. We've got all of the different hockey things happening and the ice skating rink, and it's exciting. It's a fun time.
And events all over the valley starting to pick up with like the Reveille Vail events. Those are coming up too, with some of those great art fairs and musicians coming in this coming weekend.
Well, speaking of, we've had several opening days. Vail is up and running. So let's take a look at our opening day recap. Now let's take a look at what Robbie and Gretchen have to say.
Well, we're less than 2 hours away from opening day, and I'd say there's a lot of exciting things to look forward to today.
So excited. Oh, my buddy Chris Pavona here with the bacon. I talked about this earlier. Thanks, Chris. I can't touch it with my glove. Give me a piece too. Chris, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling really good. I'm stoked to be out here. It's a little brisk, but I think the stoke's pretty high today. I'm Robbie Whittle, and we got a special guest with us. Eric Dunn, how we doing today?
We're doing great. We're so excited that it's opening day and we're ready to kick off the season.
Rate that. I mean, I like it sweet. I didn't know it was gonna be sweet. That kind of caught me by surprise, but it's yummy, man.
He is one of the new first chair humans, because it used to be an old school crew of all my friends, and you beat them this year.
Yeah, it's awesome. Got there like an hour before him. It's nice. What are you looking forward to most about this opening day in particular, 2023?
Yeah, I think I'm particularly looking forward to just getting back on snow.
What are you the most stoked for today?
Get on some snow finally. Well, if you're just now joining us, we've closed out the bottom of the hour here at opening day at Vail Ski Resort.
I am so excited. I don't know if you can hear it a little bit loud, but the music is pumping. We are feeling it. The line's getting longer. We are stoked to be here. I cannot wait.
Well, Kim, the weather's a little bit different up here at Vail than it is over in Avon. If you're just now joining us, it's opening day here at Vail, and the excitement is on, and that countdown is on too. The gondola is spinning, and we're moments away from the banner cutting ceremony.
I am so excited. You would think this is my first opening day. I feel like, what, 15? This might be 16. I am so amped.
Well, let's check the vibe a little bit here. How we feeling, guys? Ready! Opening day!
I'm so excited.
Good morning, Vail.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Do you have an interesting hobby or skill you'd like to share for Vail Valley? We want to hear from you. We're looking for people to share their musical, artistic, culinary, woodworking, athletic, or technical talents on Good Morning Vail. If you'd like to share your talents with the community, email Danielle at tvavail.com. Join the community conversation. There's more for you on 92.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Welcome to Street Magic. I'm Elizabeth Stanton with some of the most terrifying stunts, extraordinary extreme escapes, and the most amazing cutting-edge magicians you'll ever see in one show. Get ready to have your mind turned inside out. The hand is definitely quicker than the eye.
It's fake!
When you're in Vail, you're in vacation mode, and you need a flexible home tour experience that fits into your schedule. We've transformed how you view and buy homes in the Vail Valley. With immersive, cutting-edge technology, you can explore properties 10 times faster. In our lounge, we guide you through this digital world on a 16-foot screen where you can imagine your next home in comparison to your favorite recreational spots. Say goodbye to multi-day home tours and hello to a quick stop between your other plans. That's the power of the immersion theater.
Each week on the Tech Show, you can look forward to the latest in technology and how you can use it too. We'll also chat with leading experts, and you'll find out if the latest gadget will take my money or not. Don't miss the Tech Show. Tech your local listings.
At Revival Boutique Med Spa, we take an integrative and holistic approach to skincare, focusing on the bigger picture when treating our clients. We use only result-driven and science-based products that contain clean, organic, wildcrafted, and research-based ingredients. From injectables, facials, to body contouring, we offer anything related to looking your best self. Find us in the Riverwalk in Edwards. For a complete list of services, visit us online at revivalvail.com. Follow us on Instagram at Revival Vail Valley. Fall in love with your skin again. There's lots to love at Revival. Mind, body, beauty.
Welcome aboard! Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
Good morning, Vail. Good morning, Vail.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Now, we love financial advice, and you can never be too young to start. I have a great conversation with Julia Bartok of Edward Jones about the Gen Nexters, who they are, what they're doing, and where they stand financially. Julia, how are you this morning?
Good, Kimberly. How are you?
Doing well. So tell me a bit about the Gen Nexters. We've heard of Gen Z, Gen X. Tell me, what is a Gen Nexter, and what are they doing these days?
Yeah, this study was performed to gain a deeper understanding of what matters most to Americans considered in this emerging adulthood life stage, which are those ages 18 to 34 years old. This group of more than 76 million Americans, which we're referring to as Gen Next, they're the youngest adults, and they represent the next generation of workers, consumers, and investors.
And so 1 in every 10, based on this survey, have paid off their debt of some sort and are really more focused on the everyday budget. So, what are the assumptions about today's Gen Nexters and what they're doing?
This study challenges many of the popular assumptions about today's young adults. Despite many stereotypes, Gen Next, they're hardworking, they're ambitious, and they're navigating the uncertainty that comes with this life stage and the social and economic challenges of today. Despite being born in the digital era and portrayed as happiest on their devices, Gen Next are happy homebodies, with more than half reporting they feel most fulfilled when spending time with family and friends. They also desire for in-person connections, with nearly 2/3 preferring personal face-to-face interactions where it's naturally easier to share, and they really value the trust that's built from those in-person interactions. Finally, despite common misconception, only 20% use social media or influencers as sources of financial guidance. Gen Next are information omnivores. They seek trusted information, expertise, advice, and guidance from everyone.
I'd say I definitely understand wanting to have that conversation in person, because you can ask questions off the cuff and not have to wait for a response and things like that. So what is the Gen Nexters' approach to work and finance?
Employer loyalty is a lot less important to this group, and the career ladder no longer exists. Instead, we're calling it the career pogo sticks. They are highly mobile and they move from one job to another. Gen X are also comfortable wearing multiple hats, with many reporting having side hustles to fund their expenses outside their core basic needs. Only 1 in 10 associate a career with success and achievement. Gen X, they want flexibility in where and when they work, and they're open to non-traditional career paths. So naturally, this group will have diverse financial needs when it comes to how they save, they spend, and invest.
That's so interesting. 1 in 10 actually sees financial success as a career path and a career choice. And so where can we go for more information, or if we're looking for our own financial advisor?
To learn more about Gen Next and this research, or to find a local Edward Jones financial advisor near you, visit edwardjones.com/financialfuture.
Well, Julia, loved all of the facts and the details that you shared with us and how you're helping to defy the assumption of the Gen Nexter. And I know we definitely would love to see them be financially smart, as they are the foundation of our future here. So we appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now stay tuned. We have a bit more here on this second hour of Good Morning Vail. We'll be right back after this.
Familia, estamos muy emocionados de por fin presentarles nuestro nuevo programa completamente en español, Conexión Latina, que se estrena este lunes 21 de agosto a partir de las 7 de la tarde. Por el momento, el programa se transmitirá los lunes, miércoles y viernes de 7 a 7 y media de la tarde, con una repetición de 7 y media a 8, así que no hay excusas para perdértelo. Te recuerdo que puedes sintonizar nuestra programación a través del canal 92 de Comcast, nuestra página web tva.com y nuestra página de Facebook TVA Conexión Latina. Acompáñanos en esta nueva aventura llena de información y entretenimiento local. No te lo pierdas.
Pascal. And I'm Andrea Jackson. Welcome to Life, Love, Shopping. Have any personal stories you can share?
Do I? Yes, I do.
So even though you work for some good deals, too good to miss on flash deals. Now check this out.
Studies show spending time outdoors can help with depression, lowering blood pressure, and overall health and happiness.
Show. We are feeling good today. Great show on the way.
Absolutely. Welcome to our show. I'm Suki.
I'm Scott.
And we are feeling good today. You know why? Because we had a great show.
Hi, I'm Gretchen Pleshaw, host of TVA Vail. From fashion to food, from film to festivals, experience a unique look at the boutiques, spas, restaurants, and venues that make the Valley so special. Join me for Glitz and Glam. Find it in Good Morning Vail or at our website at tva8vail.com. I can't wait for our next adventure.
Welcome aboard. Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Now, I am so excited about our next guest because she is doing a wonderful thing here in the Valley. I've got the chef and founder of Slappy's Creole Cuisine joining me, Dana Kaufman. How are you, Dana?
I am fabulous. How are you?
Oh, so great. You know, I'm loving your cowboy boots. I don't know if our viewers can see it, but they are fabulous. And I think that really attests to you and who you are as in your business. So
yeah.
Talk to me about Slappy's Creole Cuisine.
So in 2018, post-divorce, I was looking for something to be passionate about, make a living, and I investigated food truck building for years and finally decided to go ahead and bite the bullet. And we opened Slappy's Creole Cuisine, which Slappy is my son. And there's a funny story behind that. probably don't want to share. But
we'll have to get some of that
We'll
later.
do that on the side. Slappy's ended up being just a sensation in Houston. We had the biggest opening of any food truck ever in Houston. My oldest son, Chase, did the crawfish boiling in the back of the food truck. And then just po' boys and gumbo and etouffee and fried green tomatoes. And I grew up, my parents owned a restaurant at the North Gates of LSU called the Gumbo Place.
Okay.
So I had authentic recipes to go with, and it was awesome. And then post-COVID, it was very difficult to operate.
Sure.
So I sold the truck, and then I moved up here in December, and there's no Cajun food up here.
Well, and I would say from a food truck perspective, I love the concept of a food truck.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've lived in cities where they have food truck Thursdays, and you've got 20, 30 of them. So I love that you're bringing that here as well. And, you know, your food just looks absolutely delicious. So
Thank
I can't wait
you.
to try it. So how did you become a chef? Were you just kind of always cooking? Is it like family tradition? Tell me about that.
It was really my parents. I mean, they were both amazing cooks. I'm not formally trained, but I did work for them in college at LSU, and I cooked. And then I had 4 children, and so then I cooked even more.
You had mouths to feed.
I had mouths to feed. But I just, you know, cooking, feeding people is important to me. It makes them smile. You know, when people put good food in their mouth, and in the Vail Valley, it's hard to find good food that is affordable. So my goal was to feed locals. You know, just make sure that I kept my pricing right. And in Avon, we deliver free.
Amazing.
And so, and I started the last 3 weeks, I've just been feeding people that I know and letting people sample what I'm doing. And they love it. And so we're going forward.
So where can we get your food? Where are you located? Do you have a walk up? Is it delivery only? Tell me about that.
So right now we're delivery only. I'm working out of a fabulous commissary kitchen in Gypsum. It's Red Canyon Catering, Brian's place. It's an amazing kitchen. But we're bringing a food truck up from Denver in the next couple of weeks, and we'll be parked on Nottingham Ranch Road in Avon. So then you'll be able to pick up. And hopefully we'll get Rock and Roo going again. The food truck, we had local musicians come and jam, you know, on the weekends, and we called it Rock and Roo.
That's amazing. So
Yeah.
it's like an experience,
It
not
is.
just
No,
you
it's
know,
an
not just an
experience.
explosion of flavors in your mouth as you're taking each bite.
Right.
You get an overall all of the sensory
Oh, yeah.
experiences. That's great.
Yeah.
So what you moved here, you like Avon, and you've decided that, you know, you want to bring your cuisine to the Valley. So what are your goals? Like, where do you see yourself moving with the food truck? And then are you like planning on other things? So tell me your plans.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm flying by the seat of my pants, but the ultimate goal would be to have a brick and mortar here, and be able to serve the entire Valley. Do some catering, obviously, but the food truck will always be there, because I think it's operating at a much lower cost if you have a truck over a brick and mortar. You can take it all over the place. So, I mean, but ultimately I want a brick and mortar with a listening room, bring in some really good live music. One thing that surprised me about Vail when I moved here was the music scene here. It's just incredible.
It is.
And I play music, so you know it brings 2 things for me: food, music. Combine the 2.
Community fun.
Community
excitement.
fun. And I mean, there's so much talent here, you know?
There really is. So you play music. What kind of music do you play?
I do. I play kind of folk rock.
Okay.
I played professionally for years. I was in Nashville for about 10 years. And I don't want to do it professionally. I just want to do it for fun because it makes people, again, it's like food.
Yeah.
2 things that make people happy. you know?
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. So how did you select all of the dishes that you're offering? Are these just staples you've been making for years? Tell me about that.
Well, gumbo and etouffee I've been making since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So in authentic roux, all fresh ingredients, they're warm and full of flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And for Vail, that's just, I mean, in Texas, people love Cajun food in Texas. But up here, it's so cold.
It's true.
that it's a great thing to eat most of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Po' boys, I've got authentic recipes for hot roast beef with debris gravy on Leidenheimer bread, po' boys. They're fresh shrimp, catfish. They're spectacular, actually.
It sounds delicious. I haven't had my breakfast yet.
And the bread pudding with whiskey sauce, and I use the good stuff. So
there's no skimping there, is what you're saying.
No.
So that's great. So they're obviously warm, hearty dishes. And now, are they spicy? Do you get to kind of pick your level of spice?
They're spicier than the average dish, but not so spicy that somebody who's not used to Southern food would walk away from it.
It sounds absolutely delicious. So you're doing free delivery in Avon right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so where do we go for more information to order and see the menu and what you're offering?
So if you go to slappyscreole.com, you'll see the menu, and I have a rotating menu. So like barbecue shrimp and grits may be on the menu one day, and then the next day it could be the hot roast beef po' boy. I'm going to do white chocolate banana pudding. But it rotates because it's just me cooking right now.
Okay.
So I can only put out so much food.
Sure.
But I am looking for help. So if anybody is interested, please call me.
Oh, it sounds like you would be a blast to work with.
Oh, it's a good time.
And I think that's part of the brand, is that it's you. They get to experience the conversations with you, and see the love behind all the food that you're making for people.
Yeah,
and
hugging.
Yeah,
like we do a lot of that.
Well, it's a Southern charm. That's what I like to say in hospitality as
Yeah.
well. Well, Dana, I appreciate you coming on. So you can get free delivery right now in Avon.
Yes.
Your food truck should be up here in a few weeks. And
Yes.
then you'll have a local spot in Avon as well.
Yes.
So very exciting stuff, and I wish the best of luck to you. It's always great to bring something from where it originated in Texas and bring it up here to Vail. We appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, now stay tuned. We've got a bit more here on the show as we wrap up this Monday morning edition of Good Morning Vail.
Good morning, Vail.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
At Revival Boutique Med Spa, we take an integrative and holistic approach to skincare, focusing on the bigger picture when treating our clients. We use only result-driven and science-based products that contain clean, organic, wildcrafted, and research-based ingredients. From injectables, facials, to body contouring, we offer anything related to looking your best self. Find us in the Riverwalk in Edwards. For a complete list of services, visit us online at revivalvail.com. Follow us on Instagram at Revival Vail Valley. Fall in love with your skin again. There's lots to love at Revival. Mind, body, beauty.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
Welcome back to the TV8 Weather Center. We're looking right now at a live shot from Lion's Head there on the first Monday, well, not quite the first Monday, second Monday that Vail's been open this year. And it's looking like a gorgeous day out there. Starting off this morning at 8 a.m., we're looking at about 33 degrees. Moving on to that high of about 58 towards the afternoon there. Mostly sunny throughout the day with winds from the southwest, 5 to 10 miles an hour. Taking a look at that hourly forecast there. Around noon, we're seeing things warm up at about 51 degrees. We'll see that high sometime between noon and 4 p.m. with things starting to cool off there in the evening, looking at about 39 degrees at around 8 p.m. with the clouds starting to burn off there in the afternoon. Looking at the entire state of Colorado, down in Denver, we've got that high of 65 and sunny. Moving up to Vail, we're looking at 48 degrees and partly cloudy there. Same in Avon, partly cloudy with that high of 60 degrees, and then that high of 59 in Eagle, still with a little bit of clouds. As we take a look at the overnight forecast there, partly cloudy with the sunset at about 4:53 p.m. and that low of 25 degrees overnight. Winds from the southeast 5 to 10 miles an hour still. Taking a look at the rest of the week there, sunny on Tuesday with that high of 56 degrees. Wednesday mostly sunny with a high of 59. And then on Thursday, we're seeing that 30% chance of showers with a high of 53. And then Friday, we're looking at partly cloudy skies with a high of 54 degrees. And then on Saturday, there's that 40% chance of a wintry mix with a high of 52. So hopefully we've got a little bit more snow coming in for the ski slopes there as we're starting to move into ski season. But speaking of things to do in Vail, Avija headed over to Shakedown to see what they've got going on.
We play from the hearts. We play these songs. We live these songs.
Scott Redner is known as the man behind Shakedown Bar, a venue he says was created by musicians for musicians.
We are different. We treat our music differently. We take our music seriously.
While playing musical gigs around town, Scott had what seemed like at the time a very lucky encounter.
A gentleman saw me playing and he gave me $1 million and bought the space, the lease on the space for me.
Wait, back up. What do you mean he gave you?
Well, he saw me playing at the Red Line one night, and he walked up and he tipped me $1,000, and he said, "You rock, dude. You need your own place." And I was like, "Well, I like the sound of that, you know." So I leaned over to my security guy. I said, "Hey, this guy, he said he's gonna buy me a bar. You come run it." And it was my buddy Bryce, who was the security guy at Red Line, and he's like, "Okay."
So in 2012, Shakedown Bar was established. But like many things in life that seem too good to be true, so too was this. For a variety of reasons, Scott had to buy out his original investor. Since then, Shakedown Bar has thrived as a 198-person music venue with exceptional performers, including the Shakedown Family Band. Scott himself has toured the world with bands like Blues Traveler, Dave Matthews, and Lenny Kravitz. But this father of two girls says his daughters have inspired him to embrace the current pop stars.
It is just T-Swift, and it's like I want to be able to just. I asked my daughter, I'm like, you know, because I took them to the Taylor Swift concert this year, and I'm like, which song, Harper? And she goes, "Cruel Summer."
Here he is performing his own rendition of Flowers by Miley Cyrus, another one of his daughter's favorites. Scott says if you love music, Shakedown Bar is the place for après-ski this winter.
What's better than songs you love to sing while you're after ski celebrating, getting a little toasty, right? But, you know, it's about that. It's about interacting. It's about sharing that time. It's about singing along. It's about sharing the experience together, the feel-good stuff, the stuff you know.
And he was so impressed with my tambourine skills that you might even see yours truly on stage soon.
So am I hired to come perform with you? Can I do it?
Done.
Okay.
700.
Or maybe I'll just stick to Vail vibes. To see the real musicians, check out shakedownbarvail.com for the calendar of events.
Good morning, Vail.
Suki and Scott show. We are feeling good today. Great show on the way.
Absolutely. Welcome to our show. I'm Suki.
Hi, Scott.
And we are feeling good today. You know why? Because we had a great show.
TV8 Vail is serving the community 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Stop by for Good Morning Vail at 7 a.m. and stay all day for lifestyle favorites such as Good Day Vail, Daily Flash, Suki and Scott, and more. And you're sure to find the adventure you crave with back-to-back episodes of Scoreboard Nation and Outdoor America. Find us all day, every day on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92, on TV8Vail.com, and on all our social media platforms. There's more for you on Channel 92.
Lion's Head Jewelers Fossil and Mineral Gallery. Located in the heart of Lion's Head Village for over a decade, our 4,000 square foot gallery boasts a one-of-a-kind experience that cannot be found anywhere else in Vail. We carry the most exquisite array of fine jewelry, high-end minerals, and museum-quality fossils. We invite you to come in and explore all the history and beauty that nature has to offer.
Join us in exploring the everyday lives of community members here in the Vail Valley. Hear their inspiring stories of how they came here, their contributions to our community, and why they chose to call this place home. We want you to be one of our neighbors. If you would like to be featured or nominate someone to be featured, please send an email to Danielle@tv8vail.com. We look forward to featuring your story right here on TV8.
Do you love the outdoor lifestyle? Make sure you tune in every day at 8 p.m. to catch Scoreboard Nation. It's an outdoor lifestyle show dedicated to your 3 favorite mountain towns, Vail Beaver Creek, Park City, and Reno Tahoe. Join us for an incredible venture. Find us on TV8 Vail, Park City Television, or at thescoreboardnation.com. We can't wait to see you there.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back. If you're looking to take your fitness journey outdoors, Melanie Wells has a new app for you called WebWell, which is helping take both mindfulness and fitness and get it more involved in the outdoors. Let's take a look. Welcome back to the show. We are now joined by Melanie Webb, an author and fitness expert and expert in the travel space, who's just releasing her new fitness coaching app, WebWell. Melanie, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on, Ben.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. So tell us a little bit about your background with fitness and helping people really take their fitness journey to the outdoors.
Oh, I love that question. We were just talking about this. So I grew up in Utah. I was a big outdoors girl and also an athlete. And eventually my career landed me in Washington, D.C., where first I worked as an environmental consultant, and then I transitioned back to my true love of working with fitness as a personal trainer. And when my clients found out that I was from Utah and close to Park City, and that I had been a wildlife biologist here in southern Utah, they started hiring me to lead them on their bucket list adventures. So I would train them in the gym, get them ready, help them buy all their gear, we'd test it out, and then we would come back to Utah and take these amazing fitness adventures. So that's what led me into getting people outside, and I started seeing just magic happen when they were outdoors compared to when they were in the gym. They were like totally different people.
So how does that really change people's interaction with their own fitness, going from kind of a closed indoor space to getting out in the outdoors? Because I know like a lot of people, when they really think about exercise, they are imagining a spin class or a yoga class or a weight room. So how does like getting outside really make things different? I imagine you're not like bringing a squat rack with you.
No, I am not bringing a squat rack with me. I'm not bringing any tools or equipment. I'm just using what I call Mother Nature's gym. And in my opinion, we can do so much indoors, but fitness instructors, we trainers, we're dealing with half of a toolkit when it comes to human health and especially human physiology. Humans evolved to be in nature. We evolved to have our feet on the ground, our eyes open, looking out. There's all kinds of magic, is what I call it, that happens in the human brain when we're outside. And now the science, there's so much evidence that has researched and proven what's happening out there, and all kinds of things like dopamine receptors. Being outdoors in a green environment can help offset symptoms of anxiety and depression. I would submit that anxiety gets a little bit heightened for a lot of people in the gym and in the studio. Some gyms are really noisy. There's TVs everywhere. Machines are loud. There's, machines clanging. I spend a lot of time in the gym. I've been lifting weights since I was 14 years old. I've been a personal trainer for 25 years. So I'm in no way advocating that people give up the gym, but I think we need to reclaim our relationship with the outdoors and reconnect with it and remember that we're part of it and that what happens outdoors is a part of us. It's not just, we can't just hide out indoors anymore. We're not better for it. We are sicker for it.
Well, and it's my understanding, and I'm sure you know better than I would, that a little bit of, as important as routine is in your fitness practice, it's important to kind of not get stuck doing the same things over and over, because you end up plateauing and you end up getting kind of fixed into one mode and not seeing the progress you need. And I would imagine that breaking things up and getting outside and really kind of changing the way that we're approaching things, even if it is just for a limited time, can really kind of help break through some of those hurdles or plateaus that people might be experiencing. Has that been your experience?
That has been my experience. And what I found was people had these dreams of accomplishing something outside, and that training indoors, they could often, like you said, everybody plateaus at some point. And you have to work hard to get yourself off of that plateau. And as a result, if you don't do that, if you don't continually progress and challenge yourself, you could get bored. You could drop away. And at that point, your fitness levels start to drop. Your muscle development starts to drop. Your bones start to get weaker. So for my clients, what I saw is that they dreamed of doing these things that were a little bit scary to them also because it wasn't their lifestyle. And even now that I live back in Utah, people are a little bit curious about the outdoors, and not everyone has a safe partner to lead them out there and to teach them how to interact there. So to use the gym to train for something bigger, it adds the spice of life and the adventure back into the experience.
Well, that's something that I've found myself in my own experience. Just if I'm, going to the gym and tracking my progress on a spreadsheet or something like that, just watching that number change a little bit week to week can be somewhat motivating, but I find it's not nearly as good as like when I'm able to just hike more easily, or when I'm able to get out of my bike and the bike ride just goes a little bit smoother, and all of those outdoor activities that we participate so much in here out in the West, all of that can be just so heavily impacted by just the littlest changes in your fitness level. And it's my understanding that your WebWell app can go a really long way into kind of helping us break through those sedentary routines. Sedentary is not necessarily the right word, but those routines where we're constantly going back to the same locations, and really kind of helping to get us out and get that fitness experience more outdoors. So how exactly does the WebWell app help us with that?
That's the objective, exactly, is to train you to mix up your routine a little bit so that you're continually growing. Everything on the app is evidence-based, meaning that myself and all of the other trainers and coaches who have submitted content, we are in the trenches. We are working with clients. We're not just choreographing ideas in our head about what kind of exercises work, but we've literally trained people to go out and do these things that we love to do: hiking, biking, skiing, camping, walking, stand-up paddling, whatever. Like you said, we have such a lifestyle of activity in the West, but you want to think also about protecting the investment of being out there doing these things. We all know what happens when we get injured and have to miss an entire season of one of our favorite sports, right? You don't want to let that happen. You want to be well-rounded. You want to approach mobility, which is range of motion around a joint, flexibility, and build strength in those muscles, as well as cardio. So I feel that we've created something really well-rounded. We've tested this on our own clients again and again, and we've seen it work.
So I would imagine that since the focus is kind of getting out of the gym environment a little bit, there's not a whole lot of equipment that we would need to have to participate fully in the WebWell program.
That's a great question. You know, I started creating this in the peak of COVID. So a lot of the content was me just going outside with my mat, maybe a couple of small dumbbells, some tubing. There's a lot of body weight activity on the app. So no, you don't, it doesn't require a lot. I anticipate getting to a squat rack eventually, but I haven't created a whole lot indoors yet, but there is some.
Awesome. So it's yoga, a little bit of weight exercises, some body weight, a little bit of like injury prevention, that sort of thing as well?
There's a lot of injury prevention, and there's a little bit, there's also not only prevention, but if you want to say treatment and maintenance. So I'm using myself as, you know, the active outdoorsy Western girl who's been banged up a lot. So I have a shoulder that's injured. I have had several concussions. So there's activities you can do that progress your healing also. Of course, you want to, you know, check in with your doctor or your physical therapist if you've had those experiences. But I would say yoga, there's a little bit of yoga because that's not really my jam. I do practice yoga in my yoga retreats, but primarily the app is more strength-based and mobility-based. There's what I call the movement studio, is where there's all the movements, full workouts, warm-ups, cool-downs, exercise tutorials. And then the relaxation room is my other love, which is mindfulness activities. So breath work, guided visualizations, and meditations. WebWell's 3 pillars of health are body, mind, and nature. So there's a flavor of nature that runs throughout, and then all of the emphasis is on the body and the mind.
Fantastic. Melanie, where can we go to either download the app or check out more information about it if we're still a little bit curious?
You can download the app in the Apple Store. It's available for iPhone and iPad at this time. Hopefully we'll get it in Android by the end of the year, and you can learn more at webwell.com.
Awesome. Well, Melanie Webb, thank you so much for joining us and creating such a wonderful program to help us get more outdoors and more in tune with ourselves and with nature. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you, Ben.
Awesome. Well, you have a great rest of your day, and we will be back with a little bit more after a short break.
Good morning, Vail.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Familia, estamos muy emocionados de por fin presentarles nuestro nuevo programa completamente en español, Conexión Latina, que se estrena este lunes 21 de agosto a partir de las 7 de la tarde. Por el momento, el programa se transmitirá los lunes, miércoles y viernes de 7 a 7 y media de la tarde, con una repetición de 7 y media a 8, así que no hay excusas para perdértelo. Te recuerdo que puedes sintonizar nuestra programación a través del canal 92 de Comcast, nuestra página web tva.com y nuestra página de Facebook TVA Conexión Latina. Acompáñanos en esta nueva aventura llena de información y entretenimiento local. No te lo pierdas.
Aisa Pascal.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. Welcome to Life, Love, Shopping. Have any personal stories you can share?
Do I? Yes, I do.
So even though you work for
Some good deals, too good to miss on Flash Deals now. Check this out.
studies show spending time outdoors can help with depression, lowering blood pressure, and overall health and happiness.
Suki and Scott show. We are feeling good today. Great show on the way.
Absolutely. Welcome to our show. I'm Suki.
I'm Scott.
And we are feeling good today. You know why? Because we had a great show.
When you're in Vail, you're in vacation mode, and you need a flexible home tour experience that fits into your schedule. We transformed how you view and buy homes in the Vail Valley. With immersive, cutting-edge technology, you can explore properties 10 times faster. In our lounge, we guide you through this digital world on a 16-foot screen where you can imagine your next home in comparison to your favorite recreational spots. Say goodbye to multi-day home tours and hello to a quick stop between your other plans. That's the power of the immersion theater.
Good morning, Vail.
Hi friends, welcome to Vail Vibes. Avisha Scarborough here, and today we're coming to you from Vines at Vail Winery, and we are channeling our inner Lucille Ball for this grape crushing party. Ladies, I have never experienced anything like this. How would you describe this feeling?
Squishy, refreshing, slippery. It's very slippery when you're fighting the Italian woman.
I absolutely agree. It's squishy, mushy, slippery, and it makes me want to have a glass of wine. So salute to that.
Yay.
Grape stomping. It's a tradition that dates back to ancient Rome and was popularized in the mainstream by this classic I Love Lucy episode. And even though we have modern technology to crush the grapes for us these days, the tradition of stomping is still around. Not so much for actual winemaking, but for the pure fun of it. Vines at Vail Winery in Wolcott has been open for 32 years and has been doing Lucy-inspired grape stomps every year since it's been opened. Their only requirement is to come dressed as Lucy, and the best outfit gets a prize. The owner, Patrick Chirichillo, says he loves hosting these events, and he even joined the Lucy's in the Barrel.
I haven't been in the grapes in 20 years. I haven't gone in the grapes, so that was an event also.
That's my dad. That's his 100th birthday.
Patrick comes from a long line of Italian winemakers.
Flavor of our family was always into wines since I was a little boy to when I made my first barrel when I was 18. We've always had a fun family of all our relatives, Sunday dinners. Everybody came over to Grandma, Grandpa's house and enjoyed dinner and our wine because we all made our own wine.
Patrick continued his family tradition of bringing people together over some good wine, which is what he loves most about the grape stomps. And with all the lovely Lucy outfits, Patrick could not pick just one winner.
I think you are all winners.
And so everyone won a bottle of wine, because the best wines are the ones shared with friends. For TV 8 in Vail, I'm Avisha Scarborough.
Hey guys, let's take one last look at the TV8 Weather Center before the end of the show here. Starting off this morning around 8 a.m., we're looking at about 33 degrees, moving on to that high of about 58 there towards the mid-afternoon. Mostly sunny throughout the day with winds from the southwest, 5 to 10 miles an hour. Taking a look at the hourly forecast there, things are starting to warm up towards noon. Looking about 51 degrees, and then still 51 at 4 p.m. with that high happening sometime in between. Things starting to cool off there, looking at about 39 degrees at around 8 p.m. Taking a look at the I-70 corridor there, that high of 65 and sunny in Denver with a little bit of clouds up here in the high country with a high of 58 in Vail, high of 60 in Avon, and then 59 there in Eagle. As we take a look at that overnight forecast, we've got partly cloudy skies tonight with sunset at 5:53 p.m. and our low of about 25 degrees. Winds from the southeast 5 to 10 miles an hour. As we take a look at the week's forecast there, Tuesday we're seeing sunny skies, the high of 56. And then on Wednesday we're seeing that mostly sunny skies, the high of 59. Thursday we've got that 30% chance of showers with a high of 53. And Friday we've got partly cloudy skies with a high of 54. And then moving into Saturday, we've got that 40% chance of wintry mix and a high of 52. So Kim, what do you got going on today?
That's a loaded question. But you know what? I would say looking at the weather, I'm just kind of sitting there going, do I have the right gear to be out in this kind of weather? And so then I started thinking about finances, and we had this great conversation.
Gear can be
with
expensive.
it really can be. There's this whole thing circulating the internet called like girl math or snowboarder math or dog math, and it's you buy $3,000 worth of snow gear and a pass to ski for free every day, which makes sense in my mind. But anyways, we had this great conversation with the financial advisors at Edward Jones, and did you know that the Gen Nexters, did you even know what a Gen Nexter is?
I didn't. I kind of missed a little bit of that interview.
Well, Gen Nexters are 18 to 34. Okay. So I would say kind of in that weird in-between space where you're making financial decisions, but you're getting to do all these different, you're still kind of learning how to live life. Mm-hmm. You really are. And one of the best parts about that is people go to their family for advice for different things, but it's just different. I don't know.
Well, I'll definitely have to check out that interview to get a little bit of advice myself.
You should, absolutely. But I had a great morning and love starting with you on this Monday morning. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you guys.
See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies.